2007. Vera, Fenton, Coggeshall Memories. Interviewed by Polly Clark. Sit. So Vera, how long have you lived in Coggeshall?
My mother was a Coggeshall person, and we moved here from Sussex.
Oh, did you?
And that was November the 11th, 1929.
Goodness, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How old were you then, Vera? How old were you when you moved here?
I was about 8.
Oh, so you remember moving then?
Oh yes.
Yes. Was it exciting?
Well, I can remember we came in the lorry, the big lorry at the back. Me and my sister Flora.
Yes. Was she younger or older than you?
Yes, he's older.
Older.
Yeah. And I always remember stopping somewhere in London because of the armistice.
Yes.
You know, the 2 minutes.
The 2 minute silence.
We had, yes, for the 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then eventually we arrived here, and my mother and father took over a little off licence down Robinsbridge Road.
Oh, which isn't there now.
Yeah.
Was that on the left as you go down the hill?
When you go to, yes.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they took that over.
Yes.
That was called Daniels and Sons.
And what? Your mother came from Coggeshall, so she knew it. Is that right?
She knew that. Oh, she knew all down. Yeah, she knew all that part.
So
she was a Coggeshall person, born in Coggeshall.
So did her parents still live
and
here?
And her parents as well.
So you had grandparents living here?
Yes. I think we go back a long way on my mother's side of being.
So what was your maiden name?
Panic.
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 P-E-N-N-I-C-K.
Oh, yes.
Panic.
And did your grandparents? What did your grandfather do? Do you remember?
He used to be in the Navy.
Yes.
Years ago. But then after that, I can't remember.
No.
What he'd done after that at all.
But you used to go and see him quite a lot.
Yes. Well, we used to see him.
Yes.
He lived a little further up the road from us. It's not. The place is not there now.
No.
But and being in the Navy, he suffered with his back.
Oh.
Which I suffered.
Do you?
And so we always used to sort of wait for Granddad in the road and see him. He got his walking stick.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And you had an older sister?
My sister, yes, she married during the war, and she lives in Scotland now, in Dumfries.
Yes, and she sent you those flowers that just arrived?
No, they was from her nephew.
Her nephew?
My nephew.
Yeah, your nephew, yes. And and did you go to school in Stoneham Street, or where did you go to school, Vera?
Yes, in Stoneham Street.
Stoneham Street.
Which is our houses now.
Yes.
But that was our school.
What do you remember about your school? Did you have a favourite teacher?
Well, the school, I always remember being in the different classes. There was Miss Turner and Mrs. Winnie, and there was there's a Mr. Short, a Mr. Berry.
It's amazing that you remember so many.
And the headmaster was Mr. Hearn, and he lived in the house what is there now.
Oh, really?
When you look, that's the house where he used to live, yes.
And did you enjoy school? Did you like the school? Did you enjoy going there?
Oh yes,
Yes.
yes. We all liked Mr. Hearn.
You did.
He was
like
a little bit strict, but we
Yes.
all liked him. Yeah.
I think children like strict, don't you? They
Yes,
like
he was very good to us.
Yes. And what was your favourite subject?
I liked history a lot.
Did you?
Yes, I did. But I didn't really get on very well with the others.
No.
No, not very
The
well.
other teachers.
I was all right for arithmetic and that sort of thing.
Yes.
But the spelling,
Didn't like spelling.
no, they didn't like that at all.
So how old were you when you left school?
I was just turned 14.
And then what did you do?
Well, at that time, my mother was very ill. And she died just when the war started. 1939. She died in March of 1940.
Right at the beginning of the
Right at the
war.
beginning
So
of the
you were
war.
very young still.
Yeah. And so I wasn't very, I was about 16 or 17,
Yes.
I think. And so of course at that time I had to leave the laundry where I was working and come home to look after Dad.
Yes.
And run that place. And of course with the war started, I also had to do canteen work
Yes.
at the aerodrome.
Oh.
There was the two aerodromes, one
Yes.
at Marks Hall
Yes.
and one at Rivenel.
And which one did you work in?
I worked in both.
In both?
Yeah.
In the canteen?
Yes, they were sort of getting towards the end of the Marks Hall one,
Yes.
so us girls were put over into the canteen at Rivenel.
Were they Americans or English airmen?
No, they were Americans.
Americans.
Yeah.
Was that rather fun?
Well, up at Marks Hall, first the Air Force came.
Yes.
The,
The British airmen.
they came first for a few months, and then all the Americans came.
Yes.
And then, when we went up there, the Irishmen were here as well, building it.
Oh, really?
Yes, and
So it was quite international, really,
yes,
wasn't it?
and they went, and
Yeah.
then the Americans took Rivenel over.
Were they very glamorous, the Americans? Were they very good looking? Very tall and good looking?
A lot of them were.
Yes.
Yes.
So you had fun in the canteen?
Well, they used to come to the little latch.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, so you couldn't really get to know them very well then?
Well, not very well.
No.
We knew the ones more up at Marks Hall
Yes.
because around about Christmas time, they used to send a lorry and used to pick us girls up to go to their Christmas dance. and that.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Yes,
yeah. And
yes.
We used to get in the back of the lorry and we used to go,
Yes.
because I had friends, of course, here as well.
So you gave up the laundry. You didn't work there anymore.
No.
No.
No, and I had to,
Look after your dad.
yes.
And your dad was not very well either with his bad back.
Well, he was all right.
He was all right.
He worked all right, but
Yes.
But before the war started, he was in the means test, on the means test.
Oh.
He couldn't get a job
Oh.
because
yes.
he was really a cooper, you know.
Oh yes,
Ma-
making barrels.
Yeah, he was a cooper. But of course you couldn't get that.
No.
And but the war started,
Yeah.
and then he got a job at Braintree at Lake and Elliott's, and he worked there until he died.
What was is that sort of mechanical engineering? Is it or?
No, well, yes, they were. He didn't do the engineering work, no, but he was sort of used to help out
Yes.
in that sort of thing.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, great. So you kept house for him, and he went to work in Braintree,
Mhm.
and then you went off to the canteen.
Mm-hmm.
To
Yes,
do-
that's right.
It's quite busy. And so, can you tell me how did you heat your house? How did you heat your house?
Oh, coal.
You had a coal fire.
We had a coal fire, and
Yes.
being an off licence, we had two front rooms, like what we call it. There was two two cottages put together.
Yes, so one was the shop.
Yes,
was it?
one was the shop and one
And
was
one
where,
was the
yes.
front room.
That's right.
And did you do the laundry out the back, or did you have a
We had
copper, or-
no, the old coppers. We had a copper in the kitchen.
had a copper in the kitchen?
Yeah, and the toilet was right up the yard.
Was it?
You used
Yes.
to walk up there.
So that was a bit chilly in the winter.
Oh, it was. And of course, Mum, as I say, she wasn't all that well. So Mum had a tap put inside, because otherwise you had to go outside
Ah,
to get the water.
imagine not having a tap inside now.
No, it was one was outside for us and Mrs. Gladwin, and the other one was for Mrs. Everett and Mrs. Willis.
So you shared taps.
They had to share taps.
Goodness.
So Mum had the tap put in,
Yes.
so we didn't have to go outside because she was sort of arthritis and all that sort of
Yes,
thing.
yes, awful.
Mm.
And so you cooked on gas, did you?
Yes, we
Yes.
cooked on gas, and we had the oven.
And the oven,
Yeah,
gas.
for the fire. No, for the fire, the range.
Oh, you had the
Yeah,
range,
they had the range.
which was gas fired, or
And then we had the gas in the kitchen,
yes.
with, like a ring.
Oh, right. So the range was coal.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
yes.
cold.
Yes. And what about the milk? Did you have a milk deliveries? Did you?
Yes, I used to come round with the milk, and you had your jug ready for them to
And he poured it
put the
in.
milk in. Yeah.
Goodness. And
Yeah.
did the baker bring the bread round too?
Yes,
Yes.
Mr. Creswell.
Mr. Creswell, the
Creswell.
baker.
Yeah.
Goodness, different world really.
Because Mr. Creswell, there's some relation still in Coggeshall of Mr. Creswell.
Really,
the twins,
yes.
yeah,
Yes.
the twins.
Oh, I used to think I've heard of them. Yes,
Yeah.
Creswell twins. Yes. And was there a market, Vera? Was there a market in Coggeshall then when
A
you
market?
were small? Yes.
No, years and years ago there was.
Okay.
Before, but not when I
Not
lived
when
there.
you were. So if you wanted to go to market, you had to go to Braintree, did you?
Mhm.
Yes.
I always used to go to Braintree for the market.
You
yeah.
got on the bus, did you, and go?
Mhm, yeah, yeah.
And then you had heavy bags to bring back.
Yes, yes.
And did you have an allotment? Did your parents keep a vegetable
No, because we had a
garden?
large garden.
So you grew your
Yeah.
vegetables out the
We
back?
had a large garden at the back.
Yes. Lovely. And did you have any animals, chickens or,
We
or
had
a dog?
yes, we had. We didn't have any chickens or anything. We had a cat. We had a cat
Yes.
and a dog for a little while.
Yes.
But not for long. We didn't
Not
have
for
them long.
No.
No.
No. If you're just sort of thinking about when you were little, is there any particular things that you really remember, some very special day or special occasion that you can recall? Do you have some very vivid memories of any special day when you were quite young?
I always remember because I like games, and I always remember I used to love it when we used to go out to play games
Yes.
in the playground, and we used to have the holiday times. We used to play. They used to have different games and what they call rounders and all
Yes.
different games we knew. Well, I used to love that.
What fun. And did you mostly play with other girls, or did you didn't play with the boys?
No, it was
No.
always girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
We used to play with the boys when we came out in the road.
Yes.
You could play in the road them days, but you can't now.
You can't now, it's
No.
too dangerous. No. So you enjoyed the games. And do you remember when the war finished?
Yes.
Were there great celebrations at the end of the
Yes,
war?
I think nearly everybody went down to the market.
So you had a great party in
yes,
the town.
that's right.
Yes. And then you must have met your husband sometime during that time. Did you meet your husband?
No. I married late in life.
Did
see,
you?
Because eventually all the houses on one side were under compulsory purchase.
Well, in Robin's Bridge Road.
Yes.
Mm.
So that's how I got here with my father.
Oh, because you had to leave. You had to leave
We
because
had to move. Yeah, to here. And of course Dad was getting on then, he wasn't very well.
Yes.
And he was only here about a year and a half when he passed away.
Oh.
And I thought to myself, well, I'm going to be on my own now.
Mm. And you missed your dad, I expect, didn't you? You missed your dad when he died.
I did, very much.
Yes.
Because he was really very kind, because there was my cousin and one or two more friends, we belonged to Mr. Norman Burton. They used to run different things in Coggeshall, and we used to go out singing to different places.
Yes.
And
you were in a choir.
Yeah, we used
like a choir or a singing club.
We had a singing club.
Yes.
So we used to go around to sing in different places.
Oh, what fun!
Yeah, and my father could play the harmonica, so once or twice he came with us.
Yes. Oh, lovely. Accompanied you.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that was a lovely time, really, because he could come with me, and because we were gradually got rid of the off licence as they was coming under cultural purchase. They had to.
Was it because they were developing that, building that estate there? Is that why they needed those houses, or
no? How cottages were really past.
They were condemned.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I think I was told they were built in Queen Anne's time.
Oh, they were that old.
Yeah, they were that
They'd
old.
have been listed now, wouldn't they?
They would do.
What a shame.
Yeah, that's what we were told. They were built in
What a
Queen Anne's
shame.
time. How I know that is because the gentleman who used to come to pick up our money from the brewery, it was him that told me.
Yes.
And so that's how I know that.
Yes. I hope there are some photographs of them.
Yes.
Yes.
There's me. Have you been to the
Museum?
Yeah, down.
Yes.
There. Well, there's a photo of me standing
Is
out.
there?
Yes.
Oh, lovely.
You know the book they done of Coggeshall? They done a book.
Yes, I've got it.
Well, in that is me standing outside the off licence.
Lovely. I'll have a look at it.
And that's me.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I gave them a lot of cards I had of Coggeshall.
So, when all that happened, was the off licence closed down then when you moved?
Oh, that must have been. Let me see. It must have closed down.
Doesn't matter.
I've got to get the date right.
So you must have moved here. I suppose these houses were built.
I've been here. I've been here 42 years.
Have you? They're that old, these houses. I'm surprised they're that old.
Yeah, I've been here 42 years.
Goodness.
And
so, tell me about your husband.
My husband?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. He wasn't a very well person.
Oh. Where did you meet him? Did you meet him here?
Well, after Dad died, as I said, I thought I'm going to be on my own. So I joined a club.
Yes.
And eventually I had a letter from Stan, and we started writing to one another.
That's nice.
And he said, we sent photos, and he said he'd want to see me. So we met at Mark's Day. I went to pick him up at Mark's Day.
Where did he live?
Hellingdon, London.
In London?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Really
So you were this club was sort of for lots of people?
Yeah, that's right. It was, and we met, and eventually, I think we were together for about 18 months, and eventually we married.
That's nice.
And if he'd have lived up to March, we'd have been married 40 years.
Really?
And he died last November.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's not long ago.
No. No, not,
So,
not a year yet.
Not even a year yet.
No, he wasn't well. We were together, I reckon we'd been together about 3 years when he started having epileptic fits.
Oh,
And as he got older, they got worse.
more frequent.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the last one, that in hospital he was for a month, and that
Yes.
took him off.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, that was a very hard time for you then.
It was, yeah. It's been very hard this
Yes.
last few months.
And with your sister being so far away too.
Yes, well, she's not a well person
Isn't
either.
she?
No,
No.
but all her children, she had 5 children, and 4 of her children come down regular.
That's really
They-
nice.
The one, David and his wife, have just gone back
Yes.
down to Plymouth, where
Yes.
they live.
That's a long way to
Well,
come.
he was in the Navy, you see, so we
Yes.
landed down there.
Mm.
And then there's Anne, and my niece Anne, she lives in Scotland. They come down in June,
Yes.
and Reggie and his wife are coming at the end of this month
Good.
from Scotland.
Yes.
So they all keep in touch.
That's really
always.
nice. So
Always
they're-
keep in touch.
it's so nice to have to be in such close contact
Yeah.
with your nephews
Yeah.
and nieces.
Yes. But my sister my sister has a phobia of never going out, you see.
Oh, really?
She hasn't been out for about 20 years.
Oh. Well, they look on you as perhaps a second mother in a way, don't they?
That's
Yes.
right. They do.
Yes.
They do, really they do.
Oh.
I know David does.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
really nice.
But I've got some very good friends.
Well, I was going to say you've probably got some old school friends here still, haven't you? And friends that you've known all your life here.
I've got Roy and his wife just at the back here.
Yes.
And I've known Roy since he was that old.
Really? Yes.
And whenever I want anything, they're here.
That's really nice.
Do anything for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's reassuring to know you've got a friend nearby.
Oh, yes.
Mm.
I don't know what I would have done without them.
No,
No.
no. And there's something very comforting about staying in the same place all your life, isn't
Yes,
it? Really,
that's right.
You kind of
Yeah.
put down roots like a
That's-
tree.
You do.
Yes.
That's right. I know I've said to other people when I've been down the street a little while ago now, and there was I can't remember the man's name, but he was walking on the other side of the road, and I was on it, and he called out, and he said, "How lovely to see a cockatiel person."
There are a lot of newcomers. I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I came 4 years ago, but not from very far away. I lived in Colne Engane,
Oh
so
yeah,
it's not very far away.
going game. No,
No.
not far.
But there are a lot of newcomers.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what he said. I,
Yeah, oh.
I couldn't help laughing when he said it.
But I think there are quite a lot of original cockatiel people
Oh
too.
yes, yeah.
And you say that your mother's family go back a long way.
Oh yes, they do.
Yes.
Very
I
much
mean,
so.
do you know where they lived or
It was mostly down Robbinsbridge Road.
It was.
They in the cottages down there.
Yeah.
They lived on the other side of the road.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, have you got cousins?
I've got Doris here, my
Doris.
cousin Doris, and also I've got Jeanette. She's a relation, and she always comes here every Wednesday
That's
to
nice.
to do a little bit of cleaning for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's nice. So she's a bit younger than you, is she?
She's 60.
Yes.
Mm.
Oh, she's very young.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. So are has Stan, has he got a family too, or
Well, most they're all in
In
London.
London, I suppose.
He's got a brother in London now, but
Mm.
he's getting on. You see,
Mm.
he wouldn't come down here.
no, no.
And he's got cousins in London.
Yes.
Hillingdon, really, but
Do you ever go up to town?
we used to, but not
Yeah,
now.
not now. No. So what do you like doing now in Coggeshall?
Well, I knit.
Oh, you knit?
Yeah, I do knit.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
What are you knitting now? Is that a...
Well, I'm going to knit a scarf,
Oh, lovely.
and I'm going to do the edges.
Yes.
And have the little tassels and the.
Yes.
That's
It's
how
a
I've got it.
Christmas present for somebody.
Yeah. And also, I love crosswords and
Do you?
That sort of thing.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I love reading.
What are you reading at the moment?
Oh, I've been. And my friend gave me this. I like this.
Oh yeah.
Candice. They're very good.
Oh, is it?
Very good books.
Oh, are they? They're stories and things, aren't they?
They're very
Yes.
good.
Good.
So
what do you like about Coggeshall, Vera? What do you think is the sort of what's very good about Coggeshall in your?
Well, I mean, to me, like as I'm thinking, like years back, everything was more friendly. We knew everybody. If you know what I mean. Things are getting a little bit pushed out.
Do you think it's grown too big, or there's too many? Do you think there are too many newcomers coming in, or?
Well, I don't like to see also many houses being built around here.
No, too many.
I don't think I mind the people coming in, as long as they're decent. But I think there's a lot of houses being built around here, and I think it's closing in too much, really.
Yes, I agree. It's nice to be able to walk out into the fields.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Do you go to any of the churches, or do you?
I haven't been to the church for quite a while.
No.
They did come up and get me just after Stan in January, after Stan had passed away. They did come up and get me and brought me home.
Yes.
But I haven't been. The only time I went was when David and his wife were here, and they took me to the flower festival. The flower festival.
That was lovely, wasn't it?
They took me beautiful.
Wasn't it beautiful?
Lovely.
Yes, it is. It's a wonderful church. So if you did want to come to church, somebody could fetch you.
Oh yes.
Yes.
But the vicar's been very good to me.
He's very nice.
Oh, he's been very good.
Yes.
He's really been lovely.
Good. Yes. No, it's a very nice village. It's difficult to get to know people.
It is
really because there are, as you say, there are a lot of people. What do you think has changed if you think back to when you were a young girl and now? I mean, what are the main changes? You would say. What are the main changes, differences between?
The main changes is what. You get the television, you get the paper and that, and books come out with it. And I think people are they're nervous to go out at night time.
Yes. People are more nervous, aren't they?
Yes, because years ago you could leave your door open, you could leave your key. You can't today.
No.
And that's really what we miss.
It's sad, that, isn't it?
It is very sad.
Yes, because I think that element of trust has gone.
It has.
Yes.
It has. Because you're frightened of trusting anybody.
Yeah. It's a shame. But it's still a nice place, isn't it?
Well, Dave and his wife, they come up from Plymouth.
Yes.
And his wife always said, she said, I love Coggeshall, Vera.
Yes.
She said.
Yes, there is. It's a lovely place. It's very pretty. I mean, my friends say that when they come to stay from London or elsewhere, and they say it's a beautiful town.
Yeah.
And we're very lucky with Mark's Hall Arboretum too.
Yes,
that's beautiful, isn't it? Do you sometimes go there?
Yes, I've been up there. They took me in the car a couple of times when they come.
It's a nice place to visit.
It is lovely. Very nice.
Well, it's really nice to talk to you, Vera.
Oh,
is there anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I didn't know if you'd want to hear anything about my mother.
Yes, tell me about your mother.
Well, she was really a person that sort of loved doing things.
Yes.
And I've never forgotten it. She told us. She lived in London and done a lot of work in London. She was a nurse. And like weekends or holidays, she was home back to Coggeshall.